I'm Nilima Chakra. I coach professionals to enhance their influence, communicate and connect confidently with their ecosystem, and be visible, valued, and rewarded. In this 16th episode of Leading with Purpose, my guest is Ajit Kumar Mishra. He is a prominent figure in the dispute resolution field, particularly in construction and infrastructure projects. He is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, a fellow of Prime Dispute UK, and has been a member of UK Adjudicators, Dispute Resolution Board Foundation. He is an FIDIC certified adjudicator. He also serves as Vice Chairman of the Society of Construction Law India, an India delegate of the ICC Arbitration and ADR Committee, and a member of the ICC Institute of World Business Law. He has also contributed to the academic field via his publications. His insights and experiences have made him a respected voice in the industry. He has received several awards, including the National Award for Outstanding Service, the highest award given by the Government of India to an officer. He currently heads the Contract Management Division for a $12 billion infrastructure project in India. A very warm welcome to Leading with Purpose, Ajit ji. I'm so happy to welcome you to this conversation today.
Thank you very much, Nilima. It's really my privilege to join you on this podcast on the very, I'll say, very interesting heading, that Leading for Purpose. So that's very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Shall we get started?
Yes.
All right. So my first request is, please tell us about yourself in 3 sentences.
I'm engineering graduate with management and law education. That's my academic achievements. On professional front, I started my career as engineer in Ministry of Railways. Then I turned into a kind of techno-legal professional, and currently I am heading as the contract management division of a large public sector unit, where I do, along with other things, focus on dispute resolution. It's typically a different outlook for a government organization, where they have the aggressive mindset to litigate the dispute right up to curative petition of Supreme Court. But here, I, in my organization, try to get this settled and resolved forever.
So you're negotiating all the time.
Yeah. Every person does it, but I do it my professional duties as well.
Yes. So, like you said, you're an expert in contract management and negotiations. However, you did not start your career like this. So I'm curious, what were some of the pivotal events that brought you here?
Yeah, so that's a long story. I started my professional career after graduating from IIT Kanpur in 1994. I had, like any other common engineering graduate, had the thought of giving civil services. Unfortunately, I could get into the not get into the civil services proper, but I could enter into Ministry of Railways through engineering services. So I started my career as a pure engineer, as a civil engineer in Ministry of Railways. And over the period, the government working has changed a lot. I joined in 98 in Ministry of Railways. Lot of activities are contract based. It's not that the huge government manpower, regular employees doing their work. Lot many outsourced activity had already been introduced. So that means contracts are there in place, be it for small housekeeping activities or even for construction of mega bridges. All those were done through the contract management. So one skill which were not taught in my engineering college was the contract management, and that we have to do it learning by experience only. But then once you start learning, you also learn that it's not as simple as the nuanced input it requires. So it triggered interest in me, and then I started learning more and more about the contract management. And then again, if you are going into the contract management and the contract is, then you venture into the legal domain, where the Indian Contract Act, the very basic uh, act of India comes into the play. Then you also have to know nuances of those act. Then more and more into the legal nuances, and then it ended me into doing the masters in law. And then if you are doing into, if you have two parties who are vetting into a contract, then disputes are natural. And one of the aspect was to either you fight it out, those disputes, you use your might of being in a government organization, or you try to find a way out, which is the best for both the parties as far as the outcome is concerned. In that case, I started learning the methods of dispute resolution. I learned methods of alternate dispute resolutions, and then grew up in generating proficiency in different alternate dispute resolution mechanism, including negotiations, obviously. So the my life so far and my conversion from a pure engineering background to now a techno-legal, or you can say the dispute resolution professional, has been the need of my professional duties. And I'm fortunate I picked up those missing dots, and I could connect in a proper profile of my professional profile as on date.
I know that you are invited to speak in multiple forums, even international forums, because of your expertise. And obviously, you enjoy doing it and you flourished doing it. It is also a skill, this dispute resolution comes later, and before that, probably comes negotiation, because it's like a staged process. And that's a skill that everyone wants to learn. And from your perspective, what is some of the fundamental requirements for somebody to get better at negotiations?
So the if you are sitting at the fence and you are trying to learn those skills, it could be little bit difficult. But if you are into the entire game, and if you put your heart and mind both into the process, the things become simpler. So that's the soft skill you need to, that you have to be into the equations. And otherwise, if I ask, or as you asked, if I need to tell the what skills a professional or good negotiator should have, I rate it that it should have three skills, not exactly in this order, but yes. First one is that preparation and strategy. He should understand not just his position or your position, but also the interest or the position of the other party. So the first part is the preparation and strategy. Second one is the emotional intelligence and communication, the ability to listen, not only to speak, and read between the lines. That goes a very effective tool and skill for a good negotiator. And the third one is the flexibility and patience. It's not that you have a hard position and you maintain that forever during the process. You have to be flexible. And also, you have to have your patience, listen to the other parties, what he is trying to bring on the table, and then take your decisions or take your calls. So the three skills: preparation and strategy, number one; emotional intelligence and communication, number two; flexibility and patience, number three.
It's wonderful. So you summarize the three, but I think the most important thing you said is if you want to learn to swim, get into the pool.
Yeah.
As you practice, and these
Yes.
are the things that you would practice
Yes.
to get better. You said something very interesting. What does the other person want?
Yes.
And there is a classic story about, two sisters and one orange. And, they compromise and they take half each.
Yeah.
But if they had spoken to each other,
Probably
one
the answer
wanted
would
the
have been
juice, yeah,
different.
the answer would have been different, right? One wanted the juice,
Yes.
the other wanted the peel. So, from your experience, how easy or difficult it is to really get somebody to open up and share what is really important to them so that you can show that flexibility that you're talking about, the openness that you're talking about, you know
Yes, so the I think I'll start with the patience that the mm, in my experience the most negotiating parties do not open up their mind at first, right?
Mm,
They weigh each other.
mm,
And if you have patience, probably the fact that someone is wanting face pack or someone is wanting juice will come out.
mm,
So first you have your patience and have a concern. You can say the concern for the other side, that you in your opening statement you may like to say that I'm sitting here not only for me but I have concern for you also,
mm,
and start trying to build trust so that
mm,
one opens up his mind.
mm,
And once this mm, uh, clarity or confidence comes from the other side, probably then the parties will sit in a normal position where they
mm,
can speak out what they actually want.
mm. So you're almost saying that when you show that openness, you're almost showing transparency and respect to the other person, and sharing that, okay, I'm not just here for you,
Very, very
for
true.
me,
Very
I'm.
true.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the. I mean, yes, I should have patience to hear you, and probably you are adding one more dimension to it. Yes, very true.
Great. So, what do you think are some of the misconceptions that get in the way of being able to get to a good solution?
Lot of. I mean, but yes, tell you the most basic one is that when parties sit for the negotiation, even when they sit for the negotiation, I'll say
Mm-hmm.
they have a mindset to win,
Yeah.
to come as a winner out of the process. You have to shed off this, misconception from your mind. Uh, in the process, if the negotiation is successful, both will come out as a winner, not a one single winner. So you have to change your concept, mindset, that it's all about winning and losing. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about winning and losing, it's about winning and winning. Second thing is, you- parties feel that maybe someone is coming from large government department or someone is coming from big private company
Mm-hmm.
having huge turnover and all, so they take their dominant position or they try to dominate the other party. This you should not do it. When you are sitting in a negotiation, treat the other side as your equal partner and then try to again start building trust and confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to dominate the other party. And then have in your mind that you are sitting with the other party for long term value creation or long term relationship. It's not one off situation. Like you may be looking at the one off case, like A and B are sitting for negotiation and they may not having maybe future contracts in future, but you never know, life is too short and the commercial interests are too short. So you may again come across in different relations, maybe in a professional relationship at some other place, maybe in another seminar, conference, or a social function. So you should interact with the creating a long-term value in relationship. So these three, I think, misconceptions you should work on when you are sitting for the negotiation.
So don't just try to win.
Yes.
Play the long-term game.
Win and win.
Win and win.
Yes.
Okay, right. So, there was something, when you say win-win, people are really conflating negotiation with conflict, right? Whereas it is the next step. It is not really, negotiation is not really equal to conflict. A lot of times people even are afraid to get into a conversation because they fear a conflict. So if a conversation happens on time, some things can be avoided. A conflict can probably be avoided. A dispute need not even happen. And what is your message to them?
Yes, so just a simple message that negotiation is not about conflict. It is about alignment, where the interest of both parties align in one direction. And a well-managed negotiation can actually prevent conflict by ensuring that expectations are clear and interests are addressed. So I encourage professionals to see negotiation as a strategic discussion, not as a battle or conflict, where both parties have the opportunity to, as I said, to create value rather than just to defend their positions.
That's beautifully said. Create value rather than defend their positions.
Yes.
Okay. But there is that fear in people. It's, like you said, strategic conversation. For somebody who's still growing in their career, the word strategy itself might be a daunting aspect, right? So a lot of times I hear, when I coach people, I hear them say, "Hey, I'm not even accepting this position. This requires me to negotiate all the time, and I am not hard enough." And from where you stand, what kind of hardness is even needed for somebody to be a negotiator, or is it not needed at all?
Yeah, so you said it well in the end. What is the correct answer? Basically, you don't need to be hard at all. But yes, you need to be firm and strategic and well prepared. So if I don't need to tell the difference in the English words hardness and firmness, but yes, you definitely have to be clear and firm in your mind what you want. But that firmness should be only for one particular point. If this situation demands, you need to re-evaluate yourself and come up with another position. So that this can be addressed through the hardness. If you are understanding your interest, and you know that you are going there for a building relationship, or in that case, you will know when to push and when to compromise. So that, that trigger, you will, this doesn't come, naturally in first or second negotiation. It comes with the experience or by application of your mind. But then you have to learn when you need to push for something or when you should compromise or accept the other party's position. So, but whenever you are doing it, you don't reflect it on your face, remain calm, even under pressure, even if you are compromising. Don't show it that as if things have been lost for you. Uh, Anticipate something which you may not be comfortable may come to you, and then how you will handle you. That's why I said the emotional intelligence and patience will come as your internal traits, which will help you negotiating or navigating through those conditions. So this is important, that you need to develop little bit of your soft skills into play. But obviously, the one simple answer is you don't need to be hard at all.
As I listen to everything you say, there is something underlying. It is almost like, okay, just be present. Um,
Yes, be at the moment.
be at the
Be at the
moment.
moment. Expect, uh, first, if you are a master negotiator, probably you will be in a position to drive the conversation uh, to your control. But even if you are not, and if the other side is also equally competent, in that case, uh, you have to prepare yourself to revise your position and
Hmm.
then take the other person's call.
It's hard, but no, not letting your thoughts, your emotions come to your face, and also doing that multitasking of revising your position, doing the calculation. So what helps to do that?
Um, yes, so practice. And the first one is uh, you know, I, I said that you have to keep your heart and mind both into the process.
Hmm.
But the mind can guide you through those numericals that where you should place your offer or your position. Your heart should be driving you for some longer or
Hmm.
deeper values like long-term relationship, your interpersonal bondings, connections, all those softer skills should be driven by your heart. So if you are keeping your heart and mind working in tandem, probably you will be a successful negotiator. You could act to your uh, benefit of both the parties, as I said.
I'm loving it that you say the heart and the values in the same sentence.
Yeah.
And that is really what the heart does. It
Yeah.
leads with values.
Yes.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you. Uh, so, these are, uh, when I coach people, I'm really talking about mid career professionals who want to be leaders, do big things. And, they often feel that they're very good at negotiating with their teams, but they're not good at negotiating for better roles, for salaries, for bonuses. And what would you say to them?
Very trick questions. And I also face similar situation when even for a smaller thing that when you are going to your boss for asking for a leave. So it comes. It's a big dilemma. But yes, I'll say that negotiating for oneself is often very challenging because people feel uncomfortable for advocating for themselves, right? But when they are advocating for other side, probably they could be more discreet and emotionless, like the lawyers do. My advice is when you are approaching it for negotiation, you have to prepare and build your case and understand what the organization or what your maybe senior boss is, what perspective they have, or what perspective organization have, or what perspective your boss has. And when you are negotiating, particularly for salaries and promotions, focus on value creation rather than entitlement. That you should not approach to your boss seeking a salary hike, saying that you are entitled for this percentage of salary hike. Rather, you go and tell that because of your contributions and your alignment with the organization's goal, this should be a fair compensation for your inputs. Probably if you change uh, uh, the perspective of way you are putting your case before management, probably you are half done and half job to be done by the boss once he gets convinced with your perspective.
So you're
So
again talking about
again,
win-win.
yes, again repeating myself is that don't talk on entitlement, rather never talk on entitlement. uh, Focus on value creation. Like again, I'll take you back to the leave request. Leaves uh, to a employee is not their rights. It's again uh, has to be looked into the organization's interest. If organization needs you for on a certain day, on that day you can't take leave. So don't talk about entitlements. Even your leaves could be denied. But talk about the value creation that look, even if I'm away, I'm thinking of my organization and this much contribution I can do, even being off my table, probably boss will convince and give you a leave.
So there's leave and there's accountability, and they go in tandem.
Yeah. Yes.
With due importance. So, very often when we get into a negotiation, or we rather shy away from getting into a negotiation, that we might burn a bridge. So, what is a way to not burn bridges even while doing very hard negotiations?
I said emotional intelligence, start from that position. If you have become a experienced negotiator, you know when to walk away. And walking away should not be impulsive. It should be a calculated decision. And also, not only impulsive, it should not be emotional also. If you're walking away, don't carry the baggage of walking away in your mind and heart. Do it in a very professional manner. Again, thinking that you may come across again in the short span of life. When you walk away, express appreciation for the discussions done. Keep the door open for future opportunities and frame it as a matter of alignment rather than rejection. During the negotiation process, and especially when you are walking away, one thing you must keep in your mind that never compromise with your core values. And if there is a threat or if the other party is putting a pressure on compromising on your core values, you must think that it's time to walk off. So because no negotiation can be done on those core values, never.
That's I can imagine that nobody would want to do that. Are there any other scenarios where you would say, okay, this is the time to walk away from the negotiation?
Yes. So if you're dealing with the commercial contracts, especially, the both sides have certain commercial interest. Along with that, there are linked with their other, you can say, the business interest. Some business interest can be very proprietary thing, maybe when certain IP related products are there where you are doing with the your compromise or your negotiation is going to affect those specific, you can say, peculiarity which you are having. Probably you may not like to compromise that, or certain if you have a certain brand, there is a threat through negotiation where the brand is getting compromised. Probably that's one good reason. But it's purely commercial, that means finances are involved. Is in those cases, I'll say that there is no such break point purely based on financial values, or you can say the economic consideration. So I'll suggest walking away purely for economic reasons. You must rethink and again think. But when it comes to your core value, your brand, your proprietary interest, you can walk away, obviously.
And having the emotional intelligence will help you not burn the bridge as you're walking away from the negotiation.
It's not, again, the burning the bridge. Rather, as I said, that it's having your position till the whatever the bridge has been constructed, you retain that, and don't let the other party have a feeling that he has been rejected and it's time to burn the bridge. You are approaching the center of the bridge from two ends, and if the settlement doesn't happen or negotiation doesn't get successful, you just walk backwards without having a feeling of rejection or without burning the bridge. That bridge may be used sometime in the future when you have your or you develop your future alignment. As I said, that leave that scope for future opportunity. So if
That's
you're
a very
burning the
beautiful.
bridge, that opportunity is getting killed.
Yeah, yeah, that's a beautiful visual you created in my head. Walk backward so that you can meet again someday. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. And that really brings me to my last question. When what is when somebody really aspires to grow as a leader, what is the one habit or one quality that you would advise them to start cultivating in themselves, maybe starting today?
That's very simple. Active listening. You have to listen. And it's not only listen, it's the active listening. And the I don't need to explain because there are so many management books on active listening. You have to cultivate this habit and listening not to respond, rather to understand the other side's viewpoint. And then only you will be able to, you know, earn the faith and trust of the other side. If you're just listening to respond or to react, probably you are not into the process wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's really at the heart of most communications.
Yes, very true.
Thank you so much, Ajitji. I really appreciate your time and your wonderful insights. This would be very useful to our audience. And I hope to have you again in the conversation another day.